parts of this made me cringe so hard. I'm sorry.
Sorry you had to hear that.
Hey, it's me, the guy with limited musical talent making videos about making music. A while ago I was browsing the internet when something happened. This happened. I was challenged. So I thought, why not? Why not indeed, John C. Sounds? So I dug up parts of an old poem I wrote when I was like 15. It was actually this whole idea for a novel I had about a vampire in 18th century Europe, so highly original, I know. And it involved multiple timelines, and I had this British detective kind of character who was eventually going to track all the pieces down and solve the mystery that had been running over centuries. Anyway, in hindsight, he was strongly based on the Edgar Allan Poe character, C. Auguste Dupin. Sometimes I wrote poems for this vampire character. Terrible ones. I was young after all, and I wrote in a second language I was still trying to learn. So I figured, why not use one of these poems for this challenge of turning lyrics into a song? So that's what I did, or tried to do. Here are the parts of the poem I used, and here are the rules I decided on. I picked a tempo for the music, then I recorded the words to that tempo. I then allowed myself some pretty strong pitch correction. I did this for two reasons. I had no reference for any notes, so it made sense to tune the pitch. Since I don't have access to my guitars anymore, I decided to make it in a more electronic style, where heavy pitch correction can sometimes be a cool effect, but I wasn't allowed to change any notes after my a cappella recording was tuned. This is what came out of that.
My eyes have failed to tell the truth, and my soul has left this sin within. More and more I fade, more than ever I regret my trade. 1,000 cries for the terrible pain, but I'm always alone, so my cries are in vain.
From this, I did my best to turn it into something musical that at least sort of made sense. And to do so, I had to rely on all my music theory knowledge and all the production skills I've managed to accumulate. And I did my best with the time I had. Here's what I came up with. You be the judge. But my point in making this video is that with some hard work and dedication, even a seemingly hopeless case like me can improve tremendously. I've never even made music in this style before. And let's not forget, my goal is to get better and better at expressing myself in ways that are closer to what's in my heart. Not to write Grammy-winning songs or to get viral hits on TikTok, or whatever the standard is for success these days. That's all for today. Thank you for watching and have a lovely day. Bye-bye. Actually, that's not quite all for today. I wanted to leave with some words about this experience because obviously writing a song from lyrics, starting from lyrics first, doing it with your instrument makes for better songs. That's an obvious one. Allowing yourself to do a retake or change notes or rewrite things would also make for a better song. But these restrictions had a purpose. I wanted to show that with knowledge of theory, at least some theory, I know a little bit, you can save and arrange things in a way that I would never be able to otherwise just using my ears because they suck. So doing something like this, at least I'm hoping to show that theory is pretty cool and it's pretty useful. And also putting a time restriction on the whole thing, I think is useful, because with a project like this, you can just go back and change and rearrange and change and rewrite and never settle on anything, because the possibilities and the options are in a way also endless, because you can add a middle section, an intro, an outro, you can write all sorts of things around your words, but I wanted to kind of get to the point quickly and just get it out. Another thing I noticed was that with such a crappy recording and so little to work with, I think it's easy to try to squeeze as much stuff in as possible. I was certainly guilty of that here. Just shove a bunch of production tricks, effects, just try to cram everything into, because the vocal can't really carry anything. If anything, it's to try to add things that can make it interesting despite the vocal, not because of the vocal. So I did that, and that's also not a good thing. Anyway, those are my final thoughts from this experience, which was actually really interesting and I think really helpful for me to just see what's possible and kind of the obvious mistakes and pitfalls when you don't have a recording that can carry the song. Anyway, bye.